So let's just take a moment to just say a really quick prayer, right? Brandon Trueblood's had some really bad shit happen in his family. And I think he needs our prayers at this moment. So, Lord God, keep Brandon and his family in your grace. Amen. Yeah, bad news, man. That's you talk to Brandon if you want to know more, but it wasn't good. So, God bless, man. You know, I hope things work out. All right. Now, let's roast some
Who are your critics? And I imagine in the Catholic space you have critics, right? Who want to really baptize the word feminism.
I mean, God, it's an evil. It's a what's it? It's the best ever for women because everything works out okay all the time. Wait a minute. What if it doesn't work out okay? What if the whole situation is fucked up beyond recognition? Guys in the military, you say a foobar. Fucked up beyond all recognition. Are we there yet?
Very upset with you probably that you're trying to demonize it. So what is could you try to steel man their arguments? Like what are they saying?
Yeah. No, I think I love the idea of debating this. I love the idea of talking about this. I love the idea of getting my arguments stronger. And
okay, great. I love the idea of women have the same rights as men. Absolutely. And without question. And they have for at least 70 fucking years. And yet here we have these little girly cues, these little twats out there on the street with their pussy hats. Oh my God, we were so impressed. What the fuck is wrong with you? Where does this shit come from? People of her age who are professors and professors emeritus at colleges. Oh my God, everything is horrible. Nothing has ever changed. What is your problem? Now, this is Carrie Gress. She is not one of those, but you get what I'm saying. You got these old fucking gashes. I mean, that tunnel hasn't been looked at for, I mean, it's Indiana Jones time to go down there. It never. These bitches are angry and but you've already won the battle. The battles you fought for are won. And here they are. The same goddamn thing. 75 years ago is the same as it is today. According to these old dusty gashes. Well, that's not true, though, is it? Okay, Carrie, go ahead.
Finding, let's poke holes in this. I just don't love it when it doesn't feel like they're really real arguments, But
good question.
Yeah, one of them there've been a few of them, but one of the arguments was that I didn't think that women were rational, which is
well, oh my God. Well, I wouldn't agree with that. Is that I just think men and women think differently. We see things in a different way. And that's why for tens of thousands of years, we've complimented each other for tens or hundreds of thousands of years. Because we see things the other doesn't. Now, you could call the men the rational kind or the women the emotional kind or whatever. We see things the other person doesn't. Why do you think we're still here as a species? Right? All right, Carrie, go ahead.
Just kind of a strange thing to say.
I have a PhD.
Yeah.
Wrote a thesis.
In philosophy. Yeah. I kind of think it's important. I've spent most of my adult life studying philosophy. But yeah, that was one argument. The other stuff hinged on...
Why did they say that?
Well, I mean, the bigger issue is just the main argument that Catholic feminists have been making is that the first wave is good, and they've really hinged their arguments.
And what do they think the
that.
first wave is saying?
There's this desire, there's this belief that the first wave is trying to get to a feminism of care.
Okay, are we conflating a couple things here, though? I think a lot of men, maybe not all, but some of it is, yeah, women should be able to vote. Women should be able to work. Women should be able to have a bank account. We all agree. All of that's been done. It's all there. There's nothing left to complain about. And yet, what do we have with the young feminists? Oh my God, my life is so hard. I was watching Despot of Antrim, actually. You guys know him? He does movie reviews. And apparently there was some Star Trek thing with this diverse Star Trek person, or not Star Wars. And she did a rap video. It's like, we're so oppressed, and you can, well, she's half black, right? Well, it's a bit. She's trying to identify with the people in the hood here, and slaves. Woman grew up in a multi-billion-dollar freaking family out of Europe. Excuse me, what? How are you down with the hood, so to speak? You mean the hood of Amsterdam? Or wherever you grew up as a billionaire in Europe? What the I'm sorry. God.
Which is really a fascinating concept, that it's really, it's trying to help women who are broken. Lovely idea.
Okay, but I mean, what rights are feminists fighting for today? Just curious. We all know what it is, right? It's socialism. It's equity. Everything should be 50-50, except the things we don't like. And then when that happens, it's, oh my God, it's oppression. You said you wanted it. You got it. Now you don't like it. Oh my God.
Do you want the Kamala Harris answer? Or do you want a very long answer? Because I could give both, but
give whatever you want, babe.
I don't really want to do a Kamala Harris impression.
This is a long one. Yeah.
So
but it's happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Abortion, 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 abortions. That's all they had. That was it. Be happy and get an abortion. Okay, then.
Fundamental problem is that a feminism of care, I think it can be effective if you sort of cherry pick ideas from women and you don't really realize, from the early feminists, you don't really realize the whole context and the whole ethos in which they're making their arguments. And I think,
I'm sure Carrie Gress at some point will bring up, oh my God, back in the suffragist days, these women, most women didn't want that. That's okay. We're here. Here we are. Here we are now. Women have the right to vote and work and buy a house and get a bank account and have abortion. So what the fuck are they complaining about at this point? We don't know, do we?
That's what's actually been going on, is sort of this creating of a vision of what first wave feminism was without.
I mean, I love Carrie Gress. I mean, she's fantastic, but she's still a chick. Whoa. She's still a girl. Can I say that? Oh my God, it sounds so sad. She's still a chick. So she's going to talk and make a bunch of noise about whatever. And I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but that's fine. That's fine. Ian Blades is here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's see if I can find it here. Because I moved my thing. Okay.
Really understanding what it is. And that
he said he was moving his thing. Oh my God. He said he was moving his thing, man. What's the matter with you?
The problem is Mary Wollstonecraft is, again, back to that idea of she's trying to figure.
Yeah, Mary Wollstonecraft lived in 1775 or something. 350 years ago. Yeah.
Figure out what womanhood is. And she's basing a lot of her ideas, first of all, on Jean-Jacques Rousseau, as well as Thomas Paine. So Wollstonecraft has this experience where she's a teacher. She's trying to help women.
Mm-hmm.
And then she moves to London. And it's basically like, again, that girl who goes to college and she's got these new professors and they're giving her all these ideas. And she's just...
Yes, the girls that go to college. Yeah, the feminists are like, oh, you don't want women to go to college. No, we don't want women to go to college because they're going to become fuck monkeys, sperm buckets. Nothing about the education. It's just the sex. That's
just
it.
Filled to the brim with them. So what happens is the French Revolution breaks out, and Edmund Burke, who is really considered the founder of conservatism, he basically says this is going to be an absolute disaster. It's going to end up in major bloodshed. And the reason why is because you're trying to get rid of tradition and faith. And nobody believes him at the time.
And he was right.
Everybody thinks, Edmund Burke, you're nuts. This is never going to be that bad. They were worried it was going to spread to England. And so he was really outspoken about it.
But he was an evil man. So listen to the girls because they're so much smarter than we are. Really? Well, but in 1798, they would have been, but the evil patriarchy. Mm-hmm.
Well, Mary Wollstonecraft is actually responding to him. And there's a book written by a man named Yuval Levin called The Great Debate. And he basically goes back to this debate between Edmund Burke and Thomas Paine and says that's really where the split happens, where we've got liberalism and conservatism. This is the nut.
Yeah.
So Wollstonecraft is fundamentally...
Oh, this is the pints with Aquinas. Yes. Okay. Wrong name. I guess somebody copied.
Very much on the Thomas Paine side of things. And, they knew each other. They were on some committee together. She actually goes to Paris and is involved in, not in the killing, but she's watching the revolution. She knows where he lives. She calls him Tommy. There's one of the arguments was that they weren't connected, but they were very much connected. So what's fascinating is that from the very beginning, feminism isn't part of the, it's trying to get rid of tradition and faith, but those are and Burke knew this. You cannot have a culture of care without those pieces. Those are what create, that's the fabric that creates the capacity for people to care for each other, whether it's the family or whatnot. So juxtapose, you have these very different personalities, and she ends up having a relationship with an American. They tell the French embassy that they're married so that she doesn't get massacred in the French Revolution. She's pregnant. She moves back to England. She tries to commit suicide a few times because that's what...
The easiest thing you could do as a woman is get knocked up. All you got to do is say, hey, here come the dicks. And we all know it's true.
The Romantics did. That was a very popular thing to do. And she ends up getting married to this man named William Godwin, who's actually very well known.
Parade. Oh my God, let's go down to the dick parade. No, that's only for the girls. I like it up my corncob ass. That's Father Saunders.
Known as far as being, his ideas really affected Marx, really influenced Marx. And he was actually much better known. He was just kind of this intellectual celebrity at the time. And so they get married and they have a baby. Well, she dies 10 days later from childbirth. So this is kind of tragically her life ends. Edmund Burke, meanwhile, he ends up taking in all these orphans from people who had been guillotined in Paris. He's, saw that there was a need for all these children. He has
thousands of orphans because there are a lot of people lost their head, not in a good way. You know what I mean?
Had an estate. He creates an orphanage for all these children to be taken care of. Like, it's just a very different, the ways in which their lives played out. Now, I'm obviously not trying to make some sort of judgment about Mary Wollstonecraft per se, but I'm just pointing out that these are very stark differences in their approaches. And there's, I
love Carrie Grass, but she's so intellectual. Red Pill in the Wind is here. Hello. Say your prayers, gentlemen. Yeah, Brands is fine. It's just, some family stuff. Psycho Soap is here. I like this one. Thank you. I hope you mean me, Mr. Ian Blades. Oh, my God. All right, let's play it out. See what happens.
You know, Ian McGilchrist, his work,
I think
The
so.
Master and His Emissary. Anyway, he's a Scottish Scotsman, and he's just an absolute delight. He's
Excuse me. Are you saying he was a Scot? Did he have a kilt? Because if he's not got a kilt and his balls hanging out on his dick, he's not a Scot. No true Scotsman fallacy. No Scot would wear a kilt unless his balls and dick are hanging out. Oh.
He wrote that book, I think, about 10 years ago, and it's actually a really mind-blowing book. But he, in that book, says, the French Revolution was supposed to be just and fraternal and ordered.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. That's what they imagined. Oh, my God. Equality, fraternity, liberté. Yeah. But we got to kill a few eggs to make a fucking omelet. That's what the French Revolution was. I digress. Sorry.
And it was none of those things.
Right.
And this is what
it had nice language, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Fraternity, liberty.
Yeah. It sounded great, Captain. But then everything went fucked up. And even Robespierre, the starter of this whole fucking thing, lost his head. Because that's what you do. You turn on your own when they're not enough of what you think they should be. Oh, yeah. Look up the French Revolution. Pretty amazing.
But then you've got, bishops hanging from lampposts and, guillotine just nonstop and so much death and destruction.
Yep.
And, it's just a disaster. And that's what Edmund Burke saw, was this is what's going to happen, because he knew when you take out faith and tradition, all you've got left is a power vacuum, or a vacuum
for
power to fill.
Ma'am, excuse me. Same thing happened in the Russian Revolution. I'm Bernie Sanders. I approve of the Russian Revolution. We have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, don't we? Yeah, they broke about 10 or 15 or 20 million eggs. And where's the omelet? Well, you just must be a hater because you're every goddamn time. Every time. Without exception. This whole socialism, communism, Leninism, Stalin fucking fails. But only after there are millions of people who are slaughtered every goddamn time. And here we got a young people like, I'm Bernie Sanders. Vote for me because I'm going to give you free health care. It's not socialism, bro, but you're trying to put a little carrot out there, aren't you? Well, we need to get rid of the communism. I want the communism, and I don't know what I want because of reasons. But these young kids fall for this shit. It's amazing. You can imagine my father, by the way, who was born in Hungary, occupied by the Nazis, occupied by the fucking Russians, punched out in 1956. Now, let's see here. Nazis, Russians, commies, enough. I talked to this man. He's 90 or almost 90 years old. He's like, why do these young people want socialism? My father, that's a goddamn good question.
So this is why he was so prescient and knew exactly what was going to happen. So all of that is a long backstory to say feminism has been, because the fact it's trying to get rid of faith and family, there's no way in which it can create that
Women,
happen where you can protect.
Carrie, sorry. Women can choose anything they want because they're free and feminist and strong and powerful. Except getting married and having children. Oh no. And you can read their goddamn literature about that. These people are fucking evil. Look at what was that chick in the 40s. If women cannot be allowed to choose to be a stay-at-home mother, because if we had that, they would mostly choose that. Do you understand where these people are coming from? What was her name? Simone de Beauvoir. She's so French. And she's so, well, French.
Protect your daughters and your family, and protect women from abuse and all of those kinds of things. It's a family that's the larger family community that is, those pieces have to be in place for that to actually happen. So it's a great concept, but it just doesn't work given the threads that our feminism is built with.
It reminds me of how the new atheism, Christopher Hitchens, and others would think that once we abolish religion, there will be an ascendance of reason.
Of course.
Yeah.
And now there are women with penises.
Yeah.
How
exactly.
did that happen?
Well, that's what Douglas Murray says. The great man. There's a God-shaped hole. There's a God-shaped hole, and people are going to find that God-shaped hole and fill it with something. Okay? And in this case, in the last few years, it's been, the alphabet flag. Come on now.
Reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No.
Men can be pregnant? Like that
Right.
happened quickly? So it's like there's something similar there. Like you remove the faith and you remove the tradition, and it turns out you're left with babble.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's this, as Ian McGilchrist would say, there's this grasping at ideas, but there's not enough context for the ideas to. It's the difference between what something is and how it becomes that which it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, here's the bottom line, gentlemen. What these Marxist types, communists, these subversive types will do is they latch onto something that makes sense. This is a bad thing. Black people in the 50s, since 1865, still didn't have the full rights in this country. Let's latch onto that. And then we can subvert. Women, well, they can't do this and they don't have birth control and all this. Let's latch on to that. Do we see a pattern? Well, there are some gay people that want to get married in churches and shit. Let's latch on to that. And now we got rainbow flags and fucking freaks. Let's latch on to. Do you understand how this works? It's not hard. You find something that kind of makes sense and then you drive it to the fucking ground, as the Democrat parties and AOC and all these fucking crazy people have done. There can be a problem, but you don't have to destroy the entire civilization we live in to fix it. But that's all they know. Destroy what's on the other side. What happens if you break all these eggs to make an omelet? Are we going to see the goddamn omelet? And they're like, well, you're a fucking hater. You're a white supremacist. You're a Nazi. Are we seeing this yet? Are we? They don't have a plan. They just want to destroy what we have. And on the other side of that, they think everything's going to be the same after they destroy it. Oh my God, wait a minute. Doesn't work that way, does it? But these idiots think it does. Look up Bezmenov. Look up the Bezmenov tapes, the demoralization and shit. All of these fucking people. A lot of these people have jobs. They're getting paid to do this by the communists, of course, George Soros, all these people, to subvert this country. They hate this country. Now, you could say, Hamster, well, why don't they just move to communist Russia? Not their goal. They want to destroy this. Is it great? Is it the best? Is there no racism and everything is fucking perfect? No. Just like every other society in human history. But it's a pretty fucking good place. We've made progress. But that's not enough. And that's why they're here. No, you didn't do enough. Really? What's enough? We don't know, but we want you to do more. Okay, what's the enough thing? Okay, women have this and women have that, and then not enough. Now it's equity, right? Well, except in places where women don't want to go, then we don't care about that, right? Just C-suite and positions of power. Oh my God, it should be 50%. What about the oil workers? No, oh my God. What are you, a misogynist? Anyway, I got to go eat. So let me read your comments here. Oh, by the way, I got got another offer from some social media place. Hey, Hamster, you are doing the best. You're the best ever. Oh my God, we want to partner with you and give you a bunch of money because you're the greatest. Well, some would disagree. All right, you folks. I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget to say a prayer for Brandon and his family. Because, yeah, it's tough days, man. Just take 2 seconds just to give a prayer. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.